Hello and welcome to the TenKei ATM YouTube channel, and this section here is called How to Use the TenKei Total Profit Target Part 8 Revised. Now let's go over here, Part 8. So what we've done is we've gone through all of this section here. We've gone through about, which is nothing to go through really, nothing to go through here. Remember, these are the important points here. Common, where you can set your trades to long or short. Some people like to set the trades to short only because when the markets do drop, and they drop fast, depending on what market it is. We had been specializing in the FTSE, DAX and Dow. The FTSE is slow, the DAX is faster, and the Dow is even faster. So if the market's going to drop, normally if you look at something like the DAX or the Dow, or the DAX and the Dow, they do drop fast. So if you decided you wanted to just trade only short, that's a good idea. Okay, now you can do that manually, or you can do it using this EA over here, or you can use your own EA. Okay, that's the versatility of this TenKei TPT. Ensure you have enable alerts checked. Ensure you have allow live trading checked. Ensure you have allow DLL imports checked. Ensure you have allow import of external experts checked. In inputs, the variables you cannot change. You cannot change the variables, but the values you can. You can change this number to whatever you want. You can change this number to whatever you want. So this number here is the total profit target, which means the total profit target you are looking for and at when you place your trades, okay, at the end of the day. So we set it for 3 right now because we're only after 3 points before we hit our total profit target of 12.5. We started late today, etc., due to one thing or another. The total stop loss would be what you'd expect if you hit, or if the total stop loss for the day is hit, and it's 37.5 in this case. We say that's it, we've had enough for the day, we'll try again another day. But this 37.5, if you divide it by 3, it equals 12.5. Yeah, so ideally we're after 12.5 a day, and we're setting this to be our total profit target times 3 losses in a row, or 3 losses overall throughout the day. Stop. Okay, we don't want to get any more beaten up than this. Okay, but you can change these numbers to whatever you wish. Auto trading time, that's the time that auto trading switches on. Okay, so once you're using the total profit target, if you set this auto trading time to whatever time you want, this total profit target will switch itself on. Now bear in mind, the TenKei total profit target will not place trades for you alone as a standalone program. You would need an EA. You could use this TenKei 7.0 EA. You could use your own EA, or you can place manual trades. Okay, so that number is interchangeable. All these numbers are dynamic, and you can change them. So, but anyway, this is not a number, is it? It says true, but it asks you here. It's like a question. Would you like to use the profit lock-in? Do you want to use profit lock-in? You can say yes, and yes is true, or no would be false. Okay, let's see. Here we are. Double click. Hold on. Come on. There we are. False. But it's a good idea to leave this to true. Okay. Now, once it asks you, would you like to use profit lock-in, true or false? You say yes, true. Well, then it'll ask you in a sense, well, what would you like your lock-in trigger to be? How many pips would you like to get before the trigger is hit? And you can set it to 3. I mean, setting it to 2 would be too low a number. If you're doing a FTSE, maybe 2. But there is also a spread, and some markets have a spread of 1, 2, or 3, which means you may actually hit your trigger and you still don't make any profit, still make a loss. But with 3 works over here on the DAX because of the personality of the DAX. But you can set this number to anything you wish. Okay, so that's interchangeable. Now then it asks you lock-in pips. Well, if you have your trigger set at 3, for instance, well, let's set this figure at 30. 30. So you have a trigger set at 30. It then asks you, okay, once the price, if you're lucky enough, the price goes all the way up to 30 plus. Okay, so for instance, let's have a quick look over here. Just looking at this number here, let's call it 77, and this number 609. So 609 minus 577 equals 32. Oh, how about that? So from here to here is 32. So if you'd actually got in here, the price came down, started to move up, you got in on the rise there, and you'd set this for a lock-in trigger of 30, it means once it's gone from 77, I say 577, I don't normally call that the whole number, I just use either the last 3, before the decimal point that is, the last 3 digits or the last 2 digits goes up. Once it hit 609, which is here, it would have locked, it would have triggered your lock-in. And then once it triggered your lock-in over here, coming back to this, you can then set what or how many points would you like to lock in. So you could say, you could use maybe a 50% ratio and say, okay, once it gets to 30, I want to lock in 15. So as it gets to 30, you've locked in 15. You're safe now. So if the price comes back against you, you've got 15. That's what that means. You can make this number higher, you can make this number lower. It's up to you. Okay? So let's leave it like that. So imagine now we've done that. We set our lock-in trigger, and the trigger is 30. So when the price hits 30, as it did from 577 to 609, that's 32. So it's hit 30, and thereafter it's locked in 15. Then it asks you, would you like to trail that stop? Yes or no? Well, true is yes, false is no. It's a good idea to set it to true, because this will allow you to have trades placed, or you can trace a trade, a spoonerism. You can place a trade and not even be there to manage it, because this will manage it for you. So this is your management system here. So yes, I want to trail my stops. True. Trail step trigger. What would you like to start? Where would you like that trigger to be? So if we'd actually got 32 points here where this trigger had been hit, and we'd locked in 15 where it went plus 15, because of course it has to get to 15, it has to get to 30. Once it gets to 30, 15 is hit for sure. So then you can say, okay, your trail step trigger, I can set it to maybe 15. 15. Or do you want to set it to a lower number? Should we try 10? Were you thinking 10? Let's put in 10. Okay, 10. So the trail step trigger would be 10, for instance, in this example. So once that's hit, then it asks you, or says, well, what would you like your trail stop step to be? Well, some of you like 5. So it means once it gets to 10, it'll now lock in 5. Remember, 5, so it's moving 5 points behind this 10. Once it gets to 15, it moves up 5 points behind the 15. So when it gets to 10, it'll go to 5. Oh, look at this over here. Just place a trade. Let's see what happens. We want 3 points. So where was I? Once it gets to 10, it'll lock in 5. Once it gets to 15, it'll lock in 10. And if it keeps going up, once it gets to 30, you'll at least lock in 25. Okay? So, but let's go over here. Look, it's just place a trade. I just want to get rid of this line over here. I'm not going to close that. Oh, there we are. Lovely. Ah, did you see that? Okay, I hope you did. But this auto trade here has now switched this off over here. Auto trading's off. So for the day, I can see down below where you cannot see it. Well, we'd hit our 12.5 points for the day. Yep. So this is just trading like £1 a point or so. or pennies per point, but it's just showing you an example. So it's been lovely. It's been lovely. It's worked today. I trust this recording will come out well enough. And also you can see here, auto trading is now switched off. Okay, so that's it. It shuts it off for you. You may not even be here to have seen it, but you can always come back after if you're at work, etc., doing something else. You can come back and say, oh, I can see auto trading off. And when you see auto trading off, it's always a matter of, is the auto trading off because I hit target in the sense of profits, or did it hit loss? So that's that. So I kind of digressed slightly because we went over here, and this is the buy point over here. It went up +3. It's got us out of the trade. We're safe, and we can live to fight another day. I shall stop there. I hope that makes sense to you. If not, watch it again. Okay, thank you.